So you started playing the piano, of course, very young. You started learning very young, three and a half. I mean, it's amazing to learn that young. I also have incidentally started learning music young. I started at the age of 6, 7. I started learning the tabla. But do you think there is an age to music education, and do you believe in the concept of earlier the better?
Um, I do believe in the concept of earlier the better. I read somewhere, or my father used to say that children are sponges from the age of 4, from the age of 0 to 4, 50% of their brains formed. And so that's the best age to start showing kids things, um, and having them find an interest, possibly. Um, the flip side to that is that if a child doesn't have the ear for it
Hmm.
or a sense of rhythm, then you don't end up picking it up, and it could be that you're enthusiastic as a parent and you want your kid, for example, to study drums,
Right,
but the child doesn't have a rhythmic bone in his or her body, and
right.
then it can be an unhappy space for the child. I feel like at that age, uh you gravitate towards certain things. I don't know if you noticed that in your own life. At 6 and 7, were you put for classes, or did you naturally find yourself to be rhythmically on
Well, I
point?
think I've naturally found myself because I was put for singing classes, which I didn't like at all. I slept in my singing classes, and my teacher was thankfully nice enough to come back and tell my mom, "Look, she's sleeping. Don't send her."
Yeah,
And my mom came back to me saying, "Do you really want to continue?" I said, "No, I want to learn tabla because that's what happens in the class next door, and I like to listen to it."
yeah. So you
So
gravitated
yeah.
towards that, and
Which
so
is what somehow even sorry to cut you, which is what somehow I believe that maybe when the child shows a certain level of inclination, it be a best time, but then also you miss out on that lovely age of 3, 4 because not all children, you know,
find that
overtly
and get
show.
interested. Correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's not something at that age. It's definitely not something that can be forced. One can put a child in a room full of instruments and see what happens. In my case, my sister used to play, so I
ah,
watched her, and it really resonated with me. Obviously, because I wanted to crawl up there and do what she was doing.
right.
It could also be that being an elder sibling, you want to do everything that she or he is doing. uh, but definitely, listening to her kind of triggered that interest.